My daughter wanted to go to Japan as her college graduation gift. So when college graduation was approaching, I started planning exactly that. Here's what we did. We flew business class to Tokyo. We stayed 2 nights in Kyoto, 4 nights in Osaka, and 2 nights in Tokyo. We stayed in Hyatt in Osaka and Kyoto, and we stayed 2 nights at a Marriott in Tokyo. The total redeem value of this trip, $29,680. What we paid out of pocket, $298. I'm Stacy, and today I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. Every flight, every hotel, every single point used, so you can understand how you can do the same for your family. Now, before I go into the breakdown, I want to give you a little bit of context before the trip actually happened. My daughter and I take mother-daughter trips every single year, and about 5 months before graduation was confirmed, I asked her where she wanted to go. She told me Japan. But 5 months is not enough time to plan Japan, especially if you want to go business class. So I told her, let's pivot, let's do something else so I can plan in the background and get everything in order. I knew I needed to accumulate the right points for that trip. So we delayed Japan and we actually went to Switzerland. Don't feel bad for her. We had 10 nights in Switzerland across 3 different cities and then ended in London before flying home in business class there. She even got to paraglide over the Alps. She's okay. But while all that was going on and while we were planning our Switzerland trip, I was working on Japan. I was earning the right sign-on bonuses. I was doing my research. I was stalking award availability. I was setting alerts. And I was watching for when the right seats would open up. Now, I booked Japan Airlines via the Alaska mileage plan. It's now Atmos rewards. And those seats are some of the most sought after seats in the points and miles world. They go fast. They open up specific seat award availability a day in advance, and it's gone. So I had my Seats.aero alerts set. I was ready. I actually booked our business class seats to Tokyo while sitting in Switzerland. That's the points and miles game at its best. The total redeem value of this trip, $29,680. We paid out of pocket, $298. I'm Stacy, and today I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. Every flight, every hotel, every single point used, so you can understand how you can do the same for your family. Okay, let's get into the numbers because this is what you're looking for, and this is where it gets interesting. We had to get to Chicago. My daughter's home airport is Detroit, and mine is Cleveland or Pittsburgh. I was flying out of Cleveland. She booked an American Airlines flight from Detroit to Chicago, 5,500 points outbound, 7,000 points back, $5.60 each way for taxes and fees. Cash price would have been around $233 each time. That's our first points and miles win. My connecting flights were Cleveland to Chicago, again through American Airlines, but I booked mine through the Alaska Mileage Plus program. 4,500 points each way, taxes and fees, $18.10. Cash price was $278 outbound and $218 coming home. Every point matters. Then we had our Japan Airlines business class flights, Chicago to Haneda, 75,000 Alaska Mileage Plus points per person. Total taxes and fees, $61.20. That's $30.60 per person for taxes and fees. The total cash value of those flights upon booking was $12,783.60. Now I say at the time of booking, remember that's a one-way cost. If I had booked that round trip, it would have been less, but that one-way ticket was over $12,000. So for 150,000 Alaska airline miles, we flew business class to Japan from Chicago. Now, remember I said I had booked those flights when I was in Switzerland. I was in the hotel lobby. We were actually waiting on our ride to get to the Lindt Chocolate Museum, and the seats became available. I got an alert from Seats.aero, and I'm in panic mode because I want to get these seats booked right now. It took me a little bit of time. The screen kept freezing up on my phone. I was nervous. Regardless, by the time our driver got there, the seats were booked and I was grinning ear to ear as we were driving to the chocolate factory. So how did I earn those Alaska miles? To be fair, I worked on a number of sign-on bonuses. I opened up the Alaska personal card, I opened up the Hawaiian personal and business card, and I had my husband open up the Hawaiian personal card as well. And here's a little piece of information that was relevant. At that time, I transferred over some points from American Express to Alaska via the Hawaiian Airlines route, which is closed since Hawaii and Alaska merged. And I moved those points over as a buffer, as the just in case, I want to make sure I have enough points for flights out and back. That window was open when Alaska and Hawaiian merged because Hawaiian was a partner of American Express. So you could move your miles from American Express to Hawaiian and then Hawaiian over to Alaska, but that has closed and now Alaska and Hawaiian are fully merged and they are no longer partners of American Express. That's a relevant piece of information now, only because we know that that window is closed, but it's a perfect example of why staying informed in this points and mile hobby is so important. Opportunities open and close fast. Coming home, we flew Tokyo to Chicago again, but this time in premium economy. I tried so hard to find business class seats to come home, and they opened up on the West Coast frequently, but I could never find Midwest, and I didn't want to go all the way to the East Coast. All that would do was just add hours on our day. I had premium economy set, and that gave us about an 18-hour window to get home. I did not want to make that window 24, 26, 28 hours, especially knowing that when we got home, the next day, both of us needed to go back to work. So we kept premium economy, Tokyo to Chicago, 50,000 points per person. Taxes and fees, $150.02 for the both of us. Their Japan Airlines premium economy seats aren't that bad. It is no business class though. Now, let's talk hotels. Because I booked those on points and miles as well, we ended up spending $75 total out of pocket for hotels just to top off some points. We started in Kyoto. 2 nights at the Hyatt Place Kyoto. Cash price would have been $1,342.74. We paid $0 out of pocket. 19,000 World of Hyatt points for both nights. And the hotel was a perfect location right next to the train station. And here's a little fun story about that hotel. We actually had to book 2 separate nights. We booked 1 king and then 1 as a twin bed. And when we got there, I asked if they could give us a room for both nights with twin beds so we didn't have to move rooms. They graciously obliged, but they put us in a room that had 2 twin beds and a sofa bed that was already made up. They wanted to take the sofa bed down before we even got to the room, but it was late. We were tired and exhausted, and we just said, we will take care of it. They apologized profusely, but it wasn't an easy fix for us. Classic Japan hospitality though. Osaka was next. We spent 4 nights at the Hyatt Caption Hotel. It was beautiful, it was unique, and it's a newer Hyatt brand. Honestly, I'd stay at a Caption again. I highly recommend the Caption. The Caption was 27,000 Hyatt points. Total cash value, $1,913.40. Again, $0 out of pocket. Now, I did not have status when we went to Japan, but most of our days we were even out of the hotel by 6 a.m. So we wouldn't have been able to get breakfast anyhow. Doing 25,000 to 29,000 steps a day with my daughter we were fine with 7-Eleven breakfast every day. And 7-Eleven was pretty cheap. I think we spent anywhere between $4 and $10 a day on breakfast. And the $10 was more, I just want to try a couple different things today. Okay, the next 2 nights. Tokyo. We had 2 nights at the Marriott Tokyo Moxy Tokyo. Kinshio? I don't know how to say that. I had a free night certificate for the first night, and the second night I had points, but I did need to top those points off, and I bought those points for $75. That was a deliberate choice. I did have Chase UR points to be able to move over to Marriott, but I don't earn a lot of UR points, and I like to save those for my Hyatt hotels. We will see what 2026 brings with that, with all the new changes. Cash price for those 2 nights were $634. Total hotel price, if we had spent all of that out of pocket, all 8 nights, 2 nights in Kyoto, 4 nights in Osaka, 2 nights in Tokyo, $3,890.76. We only paid $75. So what did the points actually buy me or buy us? Look, I could talk numbers all day long, but I want to take a second and tell you what those points actually bought us. We walked 29,000 steps on our first day. We saw shrines and temples, streets full of people, lots of shopping, and things we had never seen before. UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Kyoto, Osaka, and Tokyo all at that pace was a lot. I never felt financially restricted because all my flights and all my hotels were already taken care of. But being in Japan with my daughter was something special, something I will never forget. 8 days in Japan with my daughter, no financial stress, no counting what things cost, just us fully present in one of the most extraordinary places that you could be. Absolutely priceless. I would go to Japan again. That's what points and miles does for you when you use them right. They don't just save you money. They give you the experiences that you would never have otherwise. Let's talk about the full numbers. We're going to add it all up. Total price paid for everything, hotels and flights, $29,680.62. That's nearly $30,000. Total points across all platforms, 406,500 points. Total cash out of pocket, $298.62. That's taxes and fees for both flights, there and back, and the $75 top off for the hotel in Tokyo. To put that into perspective, most people are going to redeem their points and miles for 1 to 1.5 cents per point each. If someone had redeemed that 406,500 points at 1 cent per point, it would be $4,065. We got an average of 7.23 cents per point and redeemed nearly a $30,000 vacation at 7x value. That's not luck. That's strategy. That's understanding how the points and miles game works. And here's what I want you to understand. I don't say this to brag. There are people out there doing much better than me. I say this because I want you to know what's possible. And when you understand how the programs work, how the ecosystems come together, how you can plan ahead, how when you set the right alerts and when you watch how the seats become available, how everything just comes into place. My daughter got her graduation gift to Japan. A year later, we flew business class over the Pacific. We stayed in hotels in 3 different cities. We saw beautiful shrines and temples and deer and monkeys. Saw Japan at sunrise nearly every day and experienced it in a way where the financial stress just didn't exist. All because of points and miles. And we did it for $298. So what can you take away from this trip if you're watching and thinking, okay, I want to do something like this. What do I even do to start? A few things. Number 1, the right programs matter. Do your research. We used Alaska Mileage Plus program to book our Japan Airlines because that was the best program at that time. It's not the only way now, because there are a few programs out there that transfer to Japan Airlines directly, but that didn't exist a year ago. Understanding which program to use for each airline is one of the most valuable skills in this hobby. Number 2, award availability is everything. Business class seats to Japan is not easy to find. I used Seats.aero to set alerts. I stalked the release dates, and I was ready to book the moment seats opened up. If I hadn't done the work, I wouldn't be sitting in economy. I wouldn't have gone. Number 3, confirm the award availability before you transfer those points, because once you do, you cannot move those points back. Phantom availability is real, and its transfer gone wrong can be painful. Many ecosystems have points that expire in a certain amount of time. Whether it's 18 months or 36 months, you need to know those numbers. I didn't do this. I'll be honest. I was sitting in the hotel lobby of Switzerland. I did not check to make sure that it was there. I was lucky. Don't make that same mistake. Number 4, you don't need every card. You need the right setup. I used a combination of cards and programs to book our Japan trip. Alaska cards for the Japan Airlines flights, Chase for the Hyatt program, and Marriott for our Marriott hotel. And then I used American Express as a buffer for those extra points just in case. A well-built points and miles portfolio covers multiple scenarios. 5, plan ahead. Japan didn't happen because I booked it 6 weeks out. It happened because I gave myself the time to accumulate the points necessary, time to watch for availability, and time to put the pieces together properly. It took me 5 months to build out my Alaska portfolio. The best redemption almost always has a planning runway behind them. If you're watching this and you want to understand how to take a trip just like this, I have a free beginner's guide that walks you through exactly where to start. The link is in the description. And if you have questions about your specific situation, come join me on my free Facebook community. If this video helps you, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. I post new videos every week on points, miles, and exactly how I book trips, from sign-on bonuses to actual trips taken. Drop a comment below. Let me know your dream destination, because chances are you can get there on points. I'm Stacy, and I'll see you in the next one.